So now we have the finished screen. The final step is to fit the screen into position. Now for this screen we've chosen a hinge and turn button. However, there are other options available such as magnetic or Velcro hinge. So having chosen the hinge and turn button fixing, I'm just going to show you the parts that you need, or the items you need to fit this into place. So we have a drill with a 2mm drill bit, a pencil to mark the hinge at the point we're going to drill, a positive screwdriver, and then the fixings themselves. So the first part of this is to line the screen up ready to fit and mark for drilling. So the first part of the fixing process is to take the second part of the hinge and insert it into place. And what we tend to try and do here is to line it up by eye, and the objective is so that it overlaps the frame side to side and top to bottom by the same amount all the way round, but whilst leaving enough room on the left here for the hinge to operate. So what I'm going to do is take a pencil and just mark the drill point for that first hinge, and then remove the screen. Take the drill. So I just slowly drill my hole, clear any debris. Take the second part of my hinge and screw that into place. And I'll repeat the process for the bottom part of the hinge. And screw that one into place also. Now the thing to remember here is because it's a lift off hinge, we can actually fit the hinge part onto the frame and then just slot the screen on. So we've got a nice tight fit, but just remember not to over tighten into the plastic. Okay, so now we've got the first hinge in place. What we do is we take the screen and we sit it into position, and this just slots straight onto the hinge. And the key here now is to, at this point, to get the lining correct. What I'm going to do is just slot the bottom hinge in. And one of the well, there's two reasons really. Obviously you want the screen lined up so it looks good, but secondly also to make sure that it doesn't snag when it opens on the left. It was too far across, it could catch the wall as it opens. So we line it up by eye, and again, if you have someone helping you, it's a good opportunity for them to step back and just double check the alignment. What we do is we mark the second hinge in the same way as we did the first, remove the screen, and then repeat the process for the second hinge, fitting it into place. So now the second hinge is fixed in place. I'm going to take the screen, slots into position. And what we're going to do is place the turn buttons just against the edge of the screen, equidistant from the top and the bottom. So what I'm going to do is measure a distance 5 centimeters and mark that point. Same for the bottom. What I do is place the turn button into position next to the screen, and then through the centre of the shank of the turn button, nice and slowly again, I drill my hole. Take my screw through the shank, tighten the turn button into place. Just get it located first. we can tighten this to such a position where the turn button will lock nicely over the front of the screen. We don't want it too tight so it's hard to operate, but just tight enough so it holds its position and just gives a little bit of friction as you lock it into place. But that holds the screen nicely, and what we do is repeat that process for the bottom. Now, we said before that these fixings, obviously because they require screwing into the frame, are not suitable for everyone to use, which is why we also have the magnetic fixings and the Velcro hinge, which are self-adhesive rather than screw fix. These are ideal for UPVC and wood particularly, and we have used them in aluminium frames as well. So that now is locking the screen nicely in position, firmly against the frame, and we just swing them through 90 degrees to allow us to open the frame. Now, one thing to mention here is that with this particular window design, we have a handle that when the window is shut, the handle is protruding past the face of the frame. So in this instance, having this sort of fixing allows us to keep it partially shut, or if we wish to do so, we can take it off and store it away.